Hey there, fourth graders. We made it! Today is the last day of new instruction. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, there will still be a Harry Potter video for you to watch, so please watch that. And then I'm doing something with all of the work we've been doing, the slideshows. I'm going to put that into some sort of video Google Drive folder for you to watch next week as well. But as far as new work that you have to do, today is it. It's the end of the road. So welcome to Friday. I actually made this video yesterday afternoon, but the sound didn't record, so here I am doing it again. I'm super excited. We've had a great year. Definitely one to remember. You will always remember, that time in fourth grade, where with Mr. D you had to go home for like 2.5 months to do online learning. I will always remember it. I sporting my white pine, white pine jersey uniform today. I don't know what to call it. My white pine polo, my colors, because I have loved my time at White here. I'm very proud to be here at White Pine. I've loved teaching here, and I still got a week, right? I'm still here through next Friday, and so many of you have signed up to visit me next week. I'm super excited to see all of you all. I have a special little something I'm going to hand you, and then if you still want to sign up, just have your parent email me. I've got plenty of slots. We can work something out. Okay, let's get to today's work. Today's work is one of my favorite things we do all year. It's called the Summer Six. Now, normally we go on a little walking field trip and we go up to the Richmond library and do stuff there, but, COVID. So, what really troubles me as a teacher, as an educator, as someone who loves reading, is that between the time when students end school and they start school again in the fall, so that summer break, they can lose up to 1/3 of what they gained the previous year in reading. So that's literally, you take 3 steps forward in the year in your reading growth, and then over the summer you take 1 step back. That's a big problem. That is stressful it's just not good, right? If you gain growth in something, if you become better at something, you don't want to have to backslide and regain those skills, because that's what happens in the fall as students are regaining skills that they already had in the spring. So it's a big deal. That's called the summer slide. It's well documented in research. Every single teacher that you talk to will say, yeah, the kids in the fall, that they just don't quite do as good as they did in the spring. And so that 1/3 can come back fairly quickly, but sometimes it takes quite a bit of time. So the summer slide, yeah, it's something we want to work on, something we don't want to have happen. And then on top of that, the future isn't certain right now. I don't know what the fall is going to look like. I really hope that, we're all able to start school in August and just have it be business as usual. But later in the fall, if there's a second wave of this, there might be online learning again. I don't know anything. It all depends on what the governor and the state and the school district decide to do. But there may still be online learning in our future. And if that's the case, you've learned that in class, I'm behind and I'm cracking the whip and we're getting work done. We have our noses to the grindstone and we work. At home, you have to be a little bit more self-driven, self-sufficient. So let's start that this summer. It doesn't have to be that way. The summer slide doesn't have to exist. You don't have to lose 1/3 of what you've gained this year over the summer. You don't have to. I read a study out of Harvard. It was completed in the late 80s, and they found that students who read 6 books over the summer, that summer slide virtually disappears. So they don't even have to go to school for the summer. Just if they read 6 books over the summer, that slide can disappear or even reverse. Some of the students even gained by the time they came back in the fall. And that's what we want. We want to have your brains engaged and thinking and ready to rock and roll in the fall. But they found a couple caveats. One thing they found was that it needs to be books that you want to read and want to enjoy. I don't want this to be, you cramming in 6 books over the summer because Mr. D said so, and I'll do whatever Mr. D wants. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying is, I want to give you the opportunity to pick 6 books this summer. 6 books that you want to read. 6 books that you are excited about reading. 6 books that you think you will love to listen to. And they can be audio books that you listen to. They can be books that you read, and I would probably do a mix. You know, listening to audiobooks is absolutely fantastic. It still keeps your brain working in the same ways, but reading some of the books will help too, because there's that text processing part that your eyes have to do to get it to the brain. But do both. I would recommend. That's what I'm doing this summer: some audio and some text. So you are going to pick 6 books this summer, just like Belle going through the library there. You're going to find 6 books that you want to read this summer, and they need to be juicy books that you just are excited to dive into. And I'll talk more about some places where you can get ideas, but there's Sora that we've used. There's the Scholastic Parent Store where you can browse books. There's Lexile Hub. There's thriftbooks.com. There's several places where you can find those books. So first, let me show you my summer 6. So my boys, we've been listening to the Harry Potters. We're a little bit behind because we've been out in the yard a little bit more lately in the evenings. But even Elliot, the 3-year-old, he's like begging to listen to Harry Potter at night. So we've been listening to those. Or sorry, Mr. D and the Chamber of Secrets, right? So my goal is, once we finish the Chamber of Secrets, we're going to move on to the Prisoner of Azkaban. And I don't know if we'll be able to finish the Goblet of Fire by the time school starts again, but my goal is to be fairly decently into it. I'm also I've tinkered with this book on and off since Christmas, but this summer I want to just really dive in and finish it. It's The Infinite Game by Simon Sinek. I love Simon Sinek's works. He's got some great TED Talks, but he talks about business and about, finding your passion, finding your why. And this newest book of his, I think it's his best. I've read his other 2, Start With Why and Leaders Eat Last, but so far, The Infinite Game has been really eye-opening to me. So I'm going to finish that this summer. There's the other video that's on the Google slide today of what I'm up to this summer. And I will be working on doing a meta-analysis for my dissertation for the school I've been going to at night. So I need to learn how to do a meta-analysis. And guess what? I'm going to learn to do it by reading it and by trial and error. So I'll be doing that this summer. And then there's this other book, Cal Newport, Digital Minimalism. He has a blog that I follow called Study Hacks. He's got some other great books, super influential. One of the books is So Good They Can't Ignore You. He has Deep Work, and this is his newest one. I actually listened to this audiobook last year, and so I'm going back and revisiting it with audio. And then, and it's just about how to balance technology in your life. Really, really good. And then this one, Marzano, he's known for kind of being the one that's really helped the coaching part of education. And so that's what my new job will be in the fall, is I will be teaching the new 3rd and 4th grade teachers how to set up a good classroom and really how to engage with their students and have good, solid quality instruction. And so I'm going to brush up. I'm going to be reading Marzano this summer to learn how I can be a good coach, because my new students won't be little 4th graders, and that kills me. It's 1,000 tiny paper cuts with hand sanitizer stinging. That's what it's like leaving 4th grade for me, but I still will have students, and my new students will be new teachers, and so I'm really excited to make that jump. But gosh, guys, it's hard leaving White Pine. So that's the summer 6. Let's talk about where you can get some books this summer. The first one is the Richmond City Library. They are open now, now that the restrictions are loosening just a little bit. And then starting June 1st, these will be their hours, 10 to noon, 2 to 6. Wednesdays they'll be open in the evenings, and then Saturday mornings they'll be open. They have a great summer program. This year they're doing a bingo card. There's one for smaller kids and then one for like teenagers and adults. And all you have to do is make bingo, and then you get a prize. So, and super exciting. Like, look at some of those. Listen to an audiobook. Make a blanket for it. Hello, I do that like every day. Make a new recipe, read in the car, build a fairy garden with sticks, stones, and leaves. I probably wouldn't do the fairy garden, but that's just me. That's just not my, jam. But read with a sibling or a parent. Have a picnic. I mean, those are going to be great, fun things for you and your family to do this summer. So I highly encourage you to do that. And then they also have some other activities that are going on that will be a lot of fun. So just talk with Laura at the library. She's so I've worked with her. She's so good to work with. She just wants kids to find good books and read. She just wants them to really just get taken away in an adventure in a book. So, and the library does have books available through Overdrive for free that you can access this summer. Some other places you can get books. You can get books through Sora, and that is free with your school district account. We have used those. There's a video back in the middle of March, maybe very end of March, beginning of April, that has a video where I show how you can get onto Sora. You can click on modules in Canvas and then find it. There's Audible, stories.audible.com. They're still offering free audiobooks for kids while schools are closed, but you have to do the stories.audible.com. That'll take you to the kids stuff. There's Overdrive that you can access through the Richmond City Library, which will be great. And I think Overdrive and Sora are becoming the same thing, but I'm not super sure. But there might be some different book selections there if you do Overdrive with Richmond versus Sora through the school district. And then the Richmond City Library has also subscribed to 2 online book platforms called Bookflix. This one's kind of for younger kids, but you might find some good stuff there. And then Scholastic Read at Home. And then there might be more information on their website, richmondlibrary.us. If not, talk with Laura at the library and she can get you hooked up with those. She gave me a little preview like a month ago, and I liked what I saw. I thought it was good quality stuff. Where I go to buy physical books is thrift books. I love thrift books. Most of my classroom library over there is thrift books. They're all used books, but most of them are under, especially kids books, like under $5. Sometimes like 6 or 7, but pretty cheap. So if you and your parents are interested in buying the books, then you can go to thrift books. All right, I know it's 11 minutes in. Hold on a few more minutes. I've got to show you what your assignment is today. So here's your assignment. You're going to make your summer 6 the same way I put my summer 6 on there. So what 6 books do you want to read this summer? Do you already know which ones you want to read? Are you going to have to look around and browse and find some books that you want to read? So what you'll need to do is today or just over the weekend, I'll be making the digital scrapbook probably Tuesday night, Wednesday, sometime before next Thursday, Friday. But sometime over the weekend, as you're getting this ready, I want you to find 6 books that you want to read. And then you're going to upload pictures of those books that you want to read to your slide in the slideshow. So the rest of the video, I'm going to show you where you can go to find books to get ideas of what books you might want to watch. And then the last one is I'm going to show you how to get them onto the slide. So where you can go to find books, there's this hub.lexile.com. Lexile is the company that we take our Scholastic Reading Inventory test 3 times a year. Lexile is just a measure of how easy or hard a text is to read. And so when we take that test, we're trying to say, okay, about what level of easy, medium, hard books, can the student tackle? So if you do this find a book /search, and this is on the Canvas page, we're going to go to that website. I'll find copy and then paste. Oh, there's my study. I put it on the page if anyone want to look at it. All right, so this is awesome because you can search by the title of a book. If there's a specific book you want to look up, you can search by keywords. So if you want magic or adventure or fantasy, you can look that up. If there's an author that you want to look up, like Rick Riordan, I know he's got a lot of great books. If there's an author you want to look up, you can just search it through there. Or what you can do, and this might be if you just want to kind of see what's out there, you could do that. So you can search by grade. So you could say, okay, I'm in 4th grader, and if you think like Holes and the Hope Chest and Harry Potter, were those easy, just right, or were they difficult? And then so you click one of those. So I'll say the Hope Chest. I would say it's just right. And you know what? I love. Oh, what do I love? I love science fiction and fantasy. No, I love mystery and suspense. And then there's actually subcategories down here if you want. I usually don't mess with the subcategories. I just do the main category. But then you could do search by series and if it's won awards. So maybe I'll select award-winning. So I can find award-winning means I know they're really good books. I know they're mystery and suspense. And I know that they're just right for 4th graders. And some of you, might be easy because we're about going into 5th grade. But, you be the judge. And then there, it's going to give you tons and tons of books. So it came up with 270 books. If I unclicked the award-winning, it would give more. So now I can kind of check it out and say, okay, 11 Thumps. Wow, that might be a great book for me to read. I could look and see, these Stephen King ones probably not so much. Oh, but hey, the Harry Potter, that might be a good one. Or Percy Jackson. So it's going to give you books. If you click down here, it'll show you the next 25. But this might be a great way for you to just find books that you might be interested in. So that's one way. Another way would be the Scholastic Parent Store has a good search. You don't have to buy them from here. It could just be a way for you to just to kind of see what's out there. So you can search by grade. You can shop by grade. So here's fourth grade. It'll show you some, and then you can have it be more items per page. And some of these, okay, Wings of Fire, great. Dogman, maybe a little bit simple for fourth graders, but you be the judge. And then there's all these filters down here on the side that you can choose, kind of how to narrow it down. So that might be an option for you to find books. Another one is thrift books. And then I always go down here to children's. And then and there's like subcategories of children's, but I just search all of children's, and then you can kind of find, okay, here's best-selling books. Wrinkle in Time. Oh, I love A Wrinkle in Time. I read that book in fourth grade, actually. There's Harry Potter's. Madeline's a good book. Frindle. I know a lot of kids love Frindle. So anyway, so you can sort of search through here, and then there's subcategories. So you could search. Let's do science and math. Thrift books was really slow yesterday too. And then, so there's some fun books that you might want to look at. So those are 3 or 4 places. And then Sora, you can go on to Sora and sort of look through books out. But those are places where you can find ideas of where to get books. So let's see where we're at. Okay, check 1, places where you can go to find books. Oh, there's also in the Canvas page, I just took a picture of most all of the books in my classroom library. So you can just kind of browse through those and see if there's any books you'd be interested in. How to get them on the slide. So these are the ones I did in the video yesterday. So one way would be that you could take, if it's a book that you already have at your house, you can take a picture of it and then get it to your computer or iPad or Android tablet. There's a couple different ways you can get it there. If you're a Google Drive person, you can upload it to Google Drive and then download it on your tablet or device by going to Google Drive. If you're an Apple Cloud Storage, you could do the same thing. Upload it using your Apple Cloud Storage on your iPhone or iPad or whatever, and then download it on your computer when you've logged into your Apple iCloud Storage. If those are confusing to you, you can email it to yourself. I still do that quite a bit. You can just email it to yourself and put it as an attachment. And then you can drag and drop it. So once you've downloaded it from your email, it'll appear on the bar down here if you're on a Windows, or you can go into your downloads folder. And then I think this is actually Lexi's one-pager. But then you can just drag and drop, or you can find the folder, open, and drag and drop it. Yep, it is Lexi's one-pager. Another way is that, so that's if the book you have it physical in your hand. One other way is, like, let's say that you found a picture of a book on the internet that you wanted. So let's say it's 11 Thumps. Like, hey, I might want to read 11 Thumps this summer. So once you get to the picture, you can right-click, and then it's going to have copy image. So I'm going to click copy image, and then I can go back onto the slide, and I right-click again, and then click on paste, and you can do Control-C, Control-V, and it'll pop up there. That is one way. You can also who was Leonardo da Vinci? You could also right-click and then do, right-click on it, and then you can do Save Image As, and then Da Vinci. You can actually save the picture the same way, and then it'll pop up on your banner, and then you can drag it on there. So if you're having a really hard time with it, you can email the pictures to me and I can plop it on the slide. You don't have to put words on the slide, but you can if you would like. This is just a great way, 6 books. Let's really push hard for 6 books this summer. I sent out an email last night to parents. If any of you are interested in doing a summer book club, if there's enough, right now there's 2 people interested. If we can get 6 or 7 or 8 people that would be interested in doing some sort of book club where we talk about these books this summer, I would be very interested in doing that. I just kind of want to have enough people to make it, really go. And it'd probably be pretty low key, but you could talk to your parents about that if you're interested. So here's the last thing. Really this summer is I want you to read. I sent a video out earlier and where we talked about reading, and it's so important. Reading is a skill. It's like if you want to become a better soccer player and then you don't play soccer for 6 months and you try and get back on the field, it's going to take you some time to relearn those skills. Reading is really, it's a very, very complex process where your eyes have to track across the page, and then you get those words, and those words go into your brain has to recognize those words individually, and then it has to take those strings of words and actually construct what they're meaning, and then there's inferences involved. I mean, you guys know the strategies of good readers, but it's reading is a it is a very it is a it's a mentally rigorous process. It's so complex for the brain to do. And if we just do a little bit this summer every day, 20 30 minutes and get through those 6 books, you're going to be so grateful in the fall. You're going to be grateful in 20 years from now, like, wow, I'm really glad I read that summer Mr. D asked me to. And you'll be better off for it. And the main thing at the end of the day, as a teacher, it's not as big a deal whether you're a good reader or whether you think you're not. Truthfully, in 10 years, you guys will all be about the same level of reading. So it's not about the level of reading. I want you to enjoy your books. I want you to find books that you enjoy reading. Um, I really enjoyed reading books in elementary school, and then I got to middle school and I stopped. And I stopped, and I didn't read till like I was in my 20s again. And I have discovered books again in the last 8 years, and I love it. And I can't get my eyes out of books. I can't get my ears out of audiobooks because the world, the whole world is available to you, when you settle into a good book. So yes, part of it is about I want you guys to be sharp and strong readers, but the reason I want you to do that is so any book that you find, no matter what book it is, that you will have the ability to tackle it and to read it because you want to. How you feel about reading and your attitudes towards it and your enjoyment of reading, that's what matters to me. Please remember that. So I'm super excited to see your summer 6. It might take a little bit of time today, so you can have over the weekend to do it if you need to. I'm super excited to see everyone's summer 6. Thanks so much. If you have any questions, email me. Bye-bye. Have a great Friday. I'll miss you guys, but it's been a good ride. Bye-bye.